Buy Mum something very special. Ken Callender is in the business of putting a few dollars in our pockets. And here he is with the right mail on today's race meetings in Sydney and Melbourne.
Thanks a lot, Ken. Well, to think just 7 days ago, I was slinging off at all the Melbourne people about the rain down at Caulfield. Wow, has it rained in Sydney this week? And I understand it's a fine sunny day in Melbourne. But don't think that'll stop you backing a winner. I've got a good thing for you. He loves the wet, absolutely eats it. He's named Spiritual Star. He's running in race 7 up here in Sydney. As a matter of fact, I think he starts to fret if there's not at least a tap running. He'll win today, TAB number 5. And in the first leg, I also like number 5, Darren Beedman's mount, Montana Sands. Down in Melbourne, we're doing races 5 and 6. I like number 1, Royal Discard in the first leg. Now, I know Royal Discard, his jockey cannot claim today, but that won't make any difference. He loves the straight course. In the second leg, I like number 3, Ski Ups. Consistent horse. She prefers it a bit wet, but I still think she'll be hard to beat today. Good luck and good punting. Here's Maxie Walker.
Thank you very much there, Ken, and we'll see how those tips go when we bring you those races a little later on this afternoon. When you have the bet...
Yeah, thanks very much, Kenny, and hopefully I've got a winner too, because I like TAB number 1, Royal Discard. Likes the straight course, and I think it'll be very hard to beat. Note, though, that the young apprentice Jay Hyder cannot claim today. These are Victorian TAB prices, remember, not bookies prices. $6 return for Royal Discard, $9 for Hunza Court. Alpine are a clear-cut favourite and will be hard to beat, $2.50. Western Red, $21. Coltar is a scratching. Chief Havoc, $4.50. Regal Tier, $26. Cavendish, the same price. Del Sol is a scratching. Temperate Pug at $41, Eccentricity at $5.50, Plushka $15, and Brigari is the roughie at $101. Okay, they're all in the barrier as we look down there to Flemington, which is what we want, a little bit of action. Just about time now for us to cross to... no, there's still one to go in. That won't take a moment. Then we'll cross down to the course for the running of the first leg of the Daily Double, or the race 5, I should say, at Flemington. Okay, there's still a few behind the barrier. Remember, this is a straight course, straight 1,200 metres. Earlier in the day, looking at the straight races, the horses that raced near the outside fence seemed to have a little advantage on the horses who raced near the inside rail. So perhaps the same will play here, I'm not sure. Usually it comes into a pattern. This race is called the Straight 6. It's a listed race and always attracts a good field. Okay, with the last horse taking his place now, it's time for us to go to Flemington to our caller, John Russell. Here he is.
Thank you, Rod. They're all set to go now. Lights on, they're racing. Alpina heading straight towards the grandstand side of the track, being trailed out there by Royal Discard. And going out there also Eccentricity and Chief Hagworth. The majority of them are heading towards that outside rail. Down on the inside there, Cavendish is one of the leaders in company with Hunza Court. Now he's starting to move across towards the centre of the track, Hunza Court. And coming down the inside rail alone there is Brigari. So on the outside now, Chief Havoc, one of the leaders here with Alpina. They're just in advance here of Western Red in behind them. Moving forward, Royal Discard. Eccentricity up in the leading group. Now Hunza Court has drifted right out towards that bunch as they race towards the course proper. Down on the flat side, there's only 2 down there, Brigari and Cavendish. The majority coming down the grandstand rail. Alpina, Chief Havoc in the firing line. So is Eccentricity. Hunza Court is joining in with a good run. Plushka's under the whip. Regal Tier. Royal Discard's a fair way back, followed by Western Red and Temperate Paga. Down on the inside, Brigari and Cavendish. But now over on the outside, Alpina just in advance of Chief Havoc, getting down towards the 200-metre mark. That outside division are well clear. Alpina is clear now. Royal Discard is coming home well. Could be the danger. Royal Discard has hit the front close to home. Royal Discard. Royal Discard wins it from Alpina, tight for third. Regal Tier and Chief Havoc just ahead there of Western Red, followed by Plushka, Hunza Court, Eccentricity, and further back Temperate Pug, Brigari and Cavendish has run last.
Well, that's the way we like to start, with a winner. And boy, oh boy, the young boy rode him a treat. In front is Alpina, the favourite. Now Royal Discarder in the red sleeves and the red caps. Royal Discard gets through, responds to the young boy's whip riding and goes away to win clearly. Royal Discard first, Alpina second. Now it's close for third between Chief Havoc in the cerise, who is weakening a little, and Regal Tier in the centre in the lime colours, who might have just snared third placing. But first and second are official. Royal Discard and Alpina will have the third placing down the line. But in the meantime, let's take a break before returning with more on the wide world of sports.
at Flemington Race 5. Number 1, 3 and 7 the numbers. Royal Discard paid $6 and $1.80. Alpina $1.40 and Regal Tier $6.70. Now, whenever we've presented international...
Yes, Max, that's exactly right. And if you've tuned in to see a Sydney race at about 11 minutes past 3, the reason you didn't see it in time was that we had a very heavy storm. We've been storming for 3 days, but a very heavy deluge after race 2, or while race 2 was being run. And you'll see there the... with the umbrella there, and the blue and white umbrella, is a racecourse manager, Lindsay Davies. He's accompanied by the chief steward, Ray Murray, there on the extreme right. A couple of other stewards and a few STC committeemen who examined the track, and the track was in grave danger after race 2. There was a lot of water lying around, but after careful consideration, the steward spoke with the jockeys. The jockeys were prepared to ride, and because there was a delay at that time of around about 60 minutes, the race times were put back. And the 3:11 race, you'll still see that at 3:30. Race 6 in Sydney. Race 7 in Sydney is just 25 minutes later at 3:55. So you'll see them both, and you'll see the football as well. But in the meantime, we've got race 6 coming up in Melbourne, and here are the TAB Victorian TAB prices. Number 1 Maggie's Day at $11, Mellow Chateau at $26, Ski-Ups, the horse I've selected, at $5.50, 9-2. Formosa Girl is a 7-1 chance, or $8. Mrs. Krause at $41, Hospitable at $15, Miss Fortune is a scratching, Barter Mist at $13, Goldfall $6.50, $15 for Way With Words, High Pixie $26, Taking Over $41. Do Me a Favour, equal favourite in a wide betting race at $5.50. Remember, these are Victorian tab prices, not bookies odds. Risky at $13, All Ablaze at $67. They're about to go, they're racing. Here's John Russell.
Nicely, quickly headed by Maggie's Day, and Way With Words began well, and also out fast is Mellow Chateau, followed by Formosa Girl. Barter Mist is going around them into a handy position, being followed up by Ski-Ups on the outside. Gold Foil, they're followed closely by High Pixie, a bit further back in the field. All Ablaze, Risky's in behind them, and a fair way back is Taking Over, being followed next to last, dropping out sharply there is Hospitable, and Mrs. Krause is last of all at the 900-metre mark, and a good go for the lead. Maggie's Day on the inside, just in advance of Mellow Chateau. They show out by length and a half to Way With Words on the inside of Ski-Ups, moving up quickly. Barter Mist up on that leading group, a length and a half. Formosa Girl being followed closely by All Ablaze, and making ground around them. Do Me a Favour is coming from a long way back, followed by High Pixie Taking Over. Risky, Hospitable and Mrs. Krause. On the home turn they travel, and Maggie's Day a half length to Mellow Chateau. Over on the inside with Way With Words as they enter the straight, being followed by Ski-Ups, and just behind them Barter Mist and Gold Foil down the outsider. Then Do Me a Favour starting to run on, followed well back in the field by All Ablaze, and back behind them High Pixie, and Risky's a long way back at the 300-metre mark now, and Ski-Ups has moved up on the outside, about to be tackled by Do Me a Favour joining in. Gold Foil in the centre, Formosa Girl getting a run through. Do Me a Favour is headed now by Gold Foil, and Formosa Girl over on the inside is tackling Gold Foil, but Gold Foil in front close to home, and Gold Foil wins it. Gold Foil is first, a long neck, Formosa Girl third, Do Me a Favour, then High Pixie followed by Ski-Ups. Mrs. Krause made up plenty of ground. Way With Words behind them, Hospitable, Risky followed by Mellow Chateau. Further back to All Ablaze Taking Over. Barter Mist is second last, and Maggie's Days run last.
Well, she looked beaten a few times, Gold Foil in the green sleeves there, but she just kept fighting back. On the outside, Do Me a Favour couldn't do any better in the red colours. That over on the rails, look at Formosa Girl getting home quickly, was going to knock her out for sure, but her run ended Formosa Girl, and in the centre with the green sleeves, Gold Foil has fought on too well to beat Formosa Girl, with Do Me a Favour in the red with the white cap hanging on for third. The numbers in Melbourne, 9, 4 and 13. They'll be official shortly, but in the meantime, before coming back to Sydney, we'll have a break on the wide world of sports.
The power of one.
Race 6, let's have a look at the divvies. Number 9, Gold Foil paid $6.40 and $2.64. Formosa Girl $2.70. And number 13, Do Me a Favour, certainly did you a favour, $2.20. That one paid. Time now to go back to Ken Callender. Race 7 in Sydney.
Yeah, thanks, Maxie. They're the horses I like, the ones that do you a favour. Okay, race 6 in Sydney, very smart field of sprinters. Sword seems nice odds to me, $7.50. Replica at $10, Batwing 15. Amber, she likes the going, $6.50. Montana Sands, I've picked him, he's out to $5. That's a nice price too. I thought he or Sword would win the race. Pimpala Patch, $41. Well-known, $5.50. Brimstone from the Bush, $21. Terralite, $67. Supertime Park at $31. Pollyanna Mist at 100 to 1 chance. Hay Charger is out. King's Move, about $18 into 17 now. $34 Fairlight Tower. $9.50 My Modest. Bit of a tip on track. Kiwi. Avarice at $81 and Passiamo at $34, and Masked Party is scratched. Okay, let's have a look at the behind the barrier. That's Batwing, TAB number 3. Well, I've got a moment here. I've got to send an 85th birthday call to one of the original STC members, Tom Whittle. And I know Tom watches the show every week, and I hope you're backing a winner of the in the Daily Double today, Tom. Well, there's Batwing. Always looks fit. A little bit of a problem with Batwing in the going. I think he races a lot better on top of the ground. There is Montana Sands in the bright green, and there's Amber, TAB number 4. She'll have no trouble in the going. She loves it. Chrissy Muntz, the jockey. Chris has already won a race here at Rosehill this afternoon, having won the previous race on King Ivor. She's Amber working around with the clerk of the course, and there in centre screen there is TAB number 15, My Modest, and there in the bright green colours, you won't miss him, will you? That's Montana Sands, and he's Darren Beedman's mount. Montana Sands is another horse who likes the going. He's won on a track just as heavy as this. In centre screen there, Daryl McClellan on the Kiwi, My Modest, in the dark blue with the yellow striped sleeves and the yellow cap. And there is Supertime Park. Supertime Park is from the Bush. Good, honest galloper, but won't find this too easy. Now, hello, something's giving a little bit of a problem there. I can't quite pick up which horse that is, but that's well known over the back, the grey horse in the cerise and blue that just went out of picture. Let's get a bit closer now. Which horse is this? But he's kicking up a little bit. The attendants, you'll see, got that long lead around behind, saves anyone getting kicked. They'll quieten him down. They're putting a hood on him. This doesn't hurt the horse, just to till they get him in the barrier, then they'll take it straight off. Just to sometimes it coaxes the horse to go in. These boys behind the barrier are extremely experienced. They know what they're doing. And now it's Avarice, the horse. Avarice is a mare trained by Tony Wildman at Warwick Farm, and she's to be ridden by Alan Scorse. And he's a jockey with a lot of experience. When they get Avarice in, they'll take that blindfold off. It's off already. There's Groovy Scorse, is his nickname. Groovy moves forward, he'll hop on the back, and he's had bigger problems than this. She'll give no trouble for an experienced horseman like Alan Scorse. He's about to climb aboard. Avarice is drawn near the inside in barrier 2. You notice they left a few stalls vacant around it till they got her in. Once she's in, they're starting to fill up those stalls now. Passiamo goes forward. There's Batwing going in now. There's Well Known, ridden by the young lady jockey Tanya Randell. She's a very good rider. She's won a race here at Rosehill on Well Known, and she's won at Canterbury on him as well. He won't give much bother. He'll go in. Okay, Well Known's gone in. Looks like the boys are looking back for one or two others at the back there. No, I think they're just about all in, are they? No, there's a few more out yet. We'll get them in quickly, though, including the New Zealander, My Modest, in the blue colours. And then over beyond My Modest is Pollyanna Mist. Pollyanna Mist is a very good mare, strong mare, but she just might be out of a depth here. Oops, My Modest had a change of mind just as they got him near the stalls. I think they'll get him in this time, though. Yep, in he goes. His jockey, Digger McClellan, is about to remount. Now all we want is Pollyanna Mist. She doesn't usually give bother. Oh, and there's Amber going forward, and also the horse I've tipped, Montana Sands. So there's a few out. Amber's in, Pollyanna Mist is in, Montana Sands joins them. Here's the man to call the action, John Tapp.
Now set for the running of the Ridges Parramatta Series. Sword is unbeaten on this track. 4 starts for 4 wins on this track.
Line them all up. Right, boys, be ready.
Past the ammo, has the inside gate, started to be Dale ready, hits the button, they're off. Pretty good start. Fairlight Tower went straight back to the tail, and Terrorlight with a wing on every foot has come bursting out of an outside gate and is going to lead. Well Known is showing plenty of early pace, and so is Sword coming over quickly, followed by Super Time Park. Brimstone scrubbed hard for a position, followed by Pimpala Patch. Montana Sands between horses, and then Amber. On the fence past the ammo, Pollyanna Mist is out deep, followed by Batwing, Our Replica, My Modest, and then Avarice. Well back, King's Move. Fairlight Tower last after a slow start. Terrorlight the leader coming to the turn over Well Known and Sword on the outside. Then Super Time Park close enough if good enough, followed by Montana Sands. Brimstone widest of all in the orange colours, Pollyanna Mist, and then Amber and Batwing. In the straight the little mare Terrorlight still in front. The grey Well Known pounces 2 lengths away. Sword under the whip. Montana Sands down the outside is starting to hit top gear, but Well Known shot to the front. The little grey Well Known looking for 9 wins from 12 starts has burst away from Terrorlight. Sword and Montana Sands can't do any better, and Well Known for Tanya Randell. Well Known beat Terrorlight, thirds close, Montana Sands and Sword. Amber just behind those, followed by Super Time Park, Pimpala Patch, Batwing, Brimstone, Our Replica, My Modest, and then Avarice, Fairlight Tower from past the ammo, and the last couple of Pollyanna Mist and King's Move.
Okay, the boys came down from Newcastle and got the cash courtesy of Well Known and Tanya Randell. The horse runs for this lady, and that's exactly what he did today. Trailed Terrorlight to the turn, breezed past Terrorlight at the top of the straight. Terrorlight actually fought on sensationally well to run second, but Well Known first, Terrorlight second, photo for third between Montana Sands and Sword. The winner, 7 Well Known, will pay $5.80 and $2.40. 9 Terrorlight will pay upwards of $16 for second. If Montana Sands has got third, and he has, he's paid $2 exactly. Kenny Sutcliffe, back to you.
Thank you, Ken. Okay, gymnastics will feature strongly at Atlanta.
Fall in race 3. Now watch the horse running third on the rails. That's Imperial Knight. With just 100 metres to go, it simply lost its footing, throwing jockey Aaron Hugh to the turf before rolling over on him. Hugh is being treated in hospital for a suspected broken shoulder and ribs. The horse was uninjured. Now it's time to announce the winner of today's Memorable Moments competition, and it is congratulations to Wayne Flanders of Scarness in Queensland. Wayne, you're now $5,000 richer, less my percentage. Today's most popular moment was Queensland State of Origin win. State of Origin win. He lives in Queensland, and we're surrounded by Queenslanders here. Max, no wonder it won.
Yeah, the fat man's done it again, Bear. He'll be incorrigible all week. Okay, let's take a moment now to have a look at the magic of Warren.